As a teenager, I decided to work for McDonald's. First mistake. So I went on an interview.
I love McDonald's.
You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? No, that's gonna be in the video.
I mean, that's good though. So I went on an interview, and my interviewer, she was looking at my application. She saw the high school I went to, and so she knew some of the teachers there. So she was asking me about them. We continued our conversation. I was a senior in high school at the time. And so she asked me what colleges I was thinking of going to. So I named a few of those colleges, and she said, don't you think that is a reach for you? But she didn't know anything about my grades or anything, just the color of my skin. By the way, I ended up getting accepted to and graduating from my reach school.
Which was?
Penn State.
Wow.
We are here hiking responsibly with face coverings and distance. But if you notice, behind those masks are beautiful, colorful faces with smiles. And I wanted to take opportunity and ask those people about their experience being people of color outdoors. So here we go, we got one.
I mean, it's like with things with my hair, let's say, since I don't straighten it, things like that.
Who says what to you about your hair?
My uncles, my cousins.
What do they say?
Like things like, you have to comb your hair with like a tractor, things like that.
Why do they say that?
I mean,
in your opinion?
They say it jokingly, but there's like an underlying message there.
Which is, in your interpretation?
They don't see it as acceptable.
Okay. And you obviously do see it as acceptable.
Yeah, I don't care.
You don't care because it's them, or you don't care because you
love my hair.
There you go.
It's the soundtrack to my movie. It keeps me on my path. Never doubt that.
Let the music pick you up and you never come back down. 'Cause every story's better with the song in the background. Your soundtrack, it can make you laugh like a classic.
Look, people of color can be racist too. So if we get a little too overboard and you get offended, then you know that's pretty much our signal. Okay, we went overboard.
I hear you, but and actually that's very interesting that you're saying that, because a lot of my friends that are of color that have been kind of saying that exact same thing, and I feel that quite the opposite needs to happen. If you feel that you need to open up about this and talk about it and even like just let out your rage and whatever, why is it not okay? Why is it okay for, you know, so many white people to bitch and moan about their problems? This is a safe space to do that.
Okay.
For everybody.
Okay.
And even if I am offended, I shouldn't take it personally.
Story's better with the song in the background. Your soundtrack, it can make you laugh like a class clown, or bring a new beat to sing you asleep till you pass out. Life is but a dream, and who knows what it means, but the music you choose.
I'm Bengali. So mom always tells me whenever I'm about to go camping, like, why we immigrate here for you to go outdoors and camp? I thought we got away from the village just for you to go back into the outdoors. So that's one that you hear a lot. And they don't understand why I do half of these things, but they're pretty, they let me do it, which is nice.
Magnifying glass. Songs are like healing.
Why would you do that? Ow, I hate you.
How was it, Nisha? Was it good for you? Was it good for you?
So we were traveling in Croatia, and we did this tour to go to Plitvice Lake, and we got matched up with this American family.
When you say American, do you mean Caucasian?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Caucasian family, Caucasian American.
Caucasian American.
And like they were kind of like standoffish at first, you know. It's like it's okay, it's whatever. Like we mind our own business. It's not a big deal.
Americans.
Yeah, it's whatever. Like I don't have to make a big deal about it. But then but then like I guess like the older folks in that group were a little like they wanted to like talk to us a little bit, and then we found out they were from New York, and they're like, oh cool, we got something in common, like but then and like they asked us like where we're from. It was like, oh, we're from the Bronx, and they were like, oh well, we're from Chelsea, and I was like, oh okay, well that's cool, and that's fine, whatever. But then like I guess like the more they started talking to us, and she was looking at me, and the lady was like, oh wow, like your English is so good, like how'd you learn how to speak like that? And I was like I live in New York. I mean, like I don't. What do you mean? And then she was just like, "Oh no, it's just that like I just expect you to have like a Spanish accent." And I was like, "No, I live in New York. That's." And I was just and like I guess it caught me off guard, and I was just like, and like I think like after the fact, I was like, man, I should have come up with so many witty replies or whatever. But then like in the moment, I was like more so I was like kind of like shocked. I was like, really? Like you've never met a person of color who live in New York? Like that's weird. That like that speaks English without an accent? Like come on. So I think that was something where it was just like, oh, like yeah, like it's kind of get the same vibe where like we prefer to like kind of meet Europeans when we're traveling than Americans, which is weird because like when you leave the US, that's when you feel most American. But then like when you meet other Americans, then it's like, oh yeah, I'm not like you, That's the feeling that I guess we get. Yeah.
Music always holds my back. It's the soundtrack to my movie. It keeps me on my path. Never doubt that.
Now here's some solid gold rocket fuel. Make your head follicle. Stand up and dance like nothing is impossible.
Did you get that?
Our country's filled with immigrants, and yet as immigrants we take the time. Like I've been an immigrant here for like over 20 years now. I took the time to learn Dominican culture. I took the time to learn Puerto Rican culture, Indian culture through foods that I tried by living in New York. And there's so many things I understand about those cultures. Being a nurse, like I know about Asian culture. I know like how to, like what those patients prefer versus somebody like, for instance, Asian cultures. If like when they come out of surgery, they have to have first sip of water that's warm. You get somebody that's Spanish, that better have ice in it or you're gonna get a whooping. You know what I mean? Like you'll learn that. But then you like have these like white people have been living here for like so many years, and they're like, not only are they surprised that you could learn to speak English well, but that like you could even like try to assimilate with other cultures. It makes no sense.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It looks like we have found the secret mine of Pine Swamp. And now we are looking, probing the mysteries of this terrain.
Is a big hug, so they're never alone. As I roam, the path of life gets long and twisty. What a mystery! I'm glad I get to bring these songs with me. My soundtrack, follow me around like a backpack. Even in my dreams when
Behold,
I'm a cat nap, singing
Pine
like a siren,
Swamp
and inspiring. Energy
mine.
so I'll never
Of course.
be retiring. They keep my engine firing.
Of course we're going in there.
Strong. I'll play these songs until I'm in the great beyond.
Dance party on a sunny day. Sad songs when it's raining outside. Sometimes I wanna run out.
Because I have been very angry these past couple of
last
weeks.
week, yeah.
Last week or two. And it's like, I don't know, this person was not able to understand me for whatever reason. And they're saying, but why do you feel that way? Like this is the thing that, I don't know, it upsets me the most, because it's like, you're not like those people just because you're black. Like, those are bad blacks, you're a good black, so you shouldn't feel the same way.
They said that to you?
And not so many words.
Look at here, don't look at there. Look at here. Okay.
Look at the
Songs when it's raining outside. Sometimes I wanna run and play.
You're trying to bird watch?
Yeah, I got the binoculars.
You're brown birding? Birding while brown?
Well, I mean, I don't get out that often, so I gotta take advantage.
So what have you seen so far?
Nothing. I've seen leaves.
You've seen Leaves.
Yeah, I see a lot of leaves.
But have you seen the birds?
I hear the birds, I can't see them though.
Did you see the birds? Did you see the birds?
I feel like they're all around me, but they're hiding.
What joy do you get from looking at birds you cannot identify?
Well, I know, it just seems like a thing to do when you're outside, right? So, I'm doing it.
You're correct. You're not wrong. Wow, friend.
You're the one who brought me out here.
I didn't.
That's the one that made you come.
Why are you getting defensive? I'm just asking about birds.
I'm just saying the facts.
I'm just asking.
Your trip.
You're birding.